Congratulations! You spent hours doing code tests, stacking up your portfolio, and preparing for that dreaded interview, and you finally got hired. And 3 months later, you don't have any motivation, you don't care about the latest tech trends and tools, you just want to do your job and make your money. Welcome to Burnout, my friend. From what I found, most developers eventually reach a stage where they just can't be asked anymore. Inertia. This is exactly the place I found myself in a few months ago. I had been extremely passionate and on top of my game all the way until I got my job. Then I fell off the wagon and found my love for my craft slowly fade away. I wasn't learning new things, I had no excitement for the problems I could solve through coding until I finally found a way to get over that phase and get right back on track. Today I'm going to give you 5 ways that can move you in the right direction, so let's get right into it. Allocating some time before you start a heavy day of work to absorb some new information can go a long way in keeping you informed and up to date. There are countless newsletters, blogs, and services available to find out the latest and greatest in the specialization that you are interested in. Daily.dev is an amazing platform to do just this. I spend at least 15 minutes every morning on it just to stay current. It does a great job of personalizing the content according to your interests. If you're not that much of a reader, you can absorb talks or podcasts. There are lots of YouTube channels that also do a great job of inspiring you to learn what's out there. Something else that has helped me to overcome my block has been trying to find inspiration in other people's work. As professional developers, we can get caught up in solving a very specific set of problems, and that can make your love for the craft of software engineering fade away fast. And that's why it can be valuable to look at a variety of problems and use cases. What you might find inspiring will depend on your specialization and what you find interesting. For example, if you're more focused on the front end, that might be CodePen demos or simply scrolling through Dribble. If you're more interested in large-scale distributed systems, you can look through the engineering blogs of large tech companies such as Uber and Meta, which tend to do a great job of being transparent with the kinds of problems they're facing and how they can go about overcoming them. Exposing yourself to these different perspectives and approaches can reinvigorate you to expand your boundaries and discover new things. Evaluate your solutions. Sometimes we let deadlines and pressure to deliver fast affect the quality of the software we produce. Other times we're just plain lazy. How many times have you written a piece of code that works, but you know it's not just right, or as good as you would expect it to be? Taking those extra few minutes to reason about what you write can raise the quality of your work significantly. While it is possible to take this too far and lose yourself in an infinite loop of refactoring and rewriting, there is a fine balance of care and attention to strike there. Think of yourself as more of a craftsman and less of a code monkey. You can use this time to write comments, format your code, remove unnecessary statements, and even do some optimization. If your company is following best practices, these things will be pointed out to you in a code review by your fellow developers. But taking a couple extra minutes to review what you have written yourself can be a rewarding practice, both to perform better at your work and learn from the solutions you have just come up with. Work on a side project. Most professional developers don't code outside of work. It's not exactly hard to understand why. Even working a traditional 8-hour shift can leave your brain too tired to commit to more deep work. This is why it is important to choose side projects that you can get excited about, and maybe even look forward to after working on your day job. You can have fun with these. They don't need to be overly complicated or of high quality. Just fun little things that you string together to learn a new concept or technology. Most of what I have learned over my career that I still recall now are things I learned from side projects. Plus, they're also a great way to pad out your portfolio since you can't showcase most of the work you do at your job. If you want some tips of coming up with side projects, subscribe to my YouTube channel for a video on that dropping soon. Guidance and accountability. A career in the tech industry is long and full of terrors. Having someone who has overcome the same struggles and challenges you face can be very helpful. I have been blessed enough to have been guided by a few such people over my career so far. Whether it's something high level like career advice or more fine grained like approaches for architecting a large-scale product. Engineers with a lot of years behind them can offer you a ton of insight, if you have the patience to listen to their wisdom. Those who've made the most mistakes are also those who have learned the most. What is better than learning from your mistakes is learning from the mistakes of others. While having a mentor is wonderful, they can be rare and hard to come across. If you have friends who are on a similar path to you, it can be a great idea to band together and hold each other accountable in your respective learning and upskilling goals. Just like going to the gym or sticking to a diet, accountability is the name of the game. By regularly checking each other's progress, we can form a tribe of like-minded people focused on improving each other's lives. It's also vital to be specific about what you are learning and the areas you're trying to build mastery in. Spending some time coming up with a learning plan so you can narrow down your focus is a good idea. Try not to be arbitrary about what you learn. Start from your learning objectives before you come up with the resource you will use. For example, if you want to learn data structures and algorithms, before you dive straight into a course, take some time to outline the curriculum beforehand. It is very useful to take the time to create a structured learning schedule that's based on spaced repetition. This is a technique of learning that helps you better retain the information you consume. Subscribe for a tutorial on how to do this soon. Share. The most surefire way to learn something is to teach it to someone else. While you're on this journey of becoming a more productive and effective developer, documenting it and trying to share knowledge back to the community in whatever scope you can is a noble cause. Content is a powerful currency in today's day and age, and if you are not producing it in some form, you are missing out. You can write blog posts, start a podcast, or upload to YouTube, but everyone knows the real G's post on LinkedIn. There's no shortage of ways to put yourself out there and increase your visibility. That's what I hope to do with this YouTube channel. I want to document my journey going from an intermediate developer to that 10x rockstar engineer you all want to be deep down. So if any of that excites you, hit that subscribe button to join me as we go from mediocrity